Hi everyone, welcome to the Lori Whitlock YouTube channel today. In this video we are going to put together this large haunted house number 2. Look how cute this is. It's a nice size project. It measures 7.5 inches wide, and all the way to the top peak up there it's about 12 inches tall, and the depth on this is 4 inches. So it's a nice, good size project. This fits perfectly with the other 2 large haunted houses that I've done this 2021 season. It's such a cute design. It's got a main house, and then it's got this little extra hexagon shaped tower off to the side. And we're going to put that together in this video. So this little piece right here is popping up. So I'll stick that back down, but I'll just kind of give you a good 3D view of this. There's a tree here that's put on, and we made some little spacers here so that it would kind of hold it out from the edge of the roof here at the top. You could cut 2 layers of that to make it a little sturdier if you'd like. And all these cute little windows have little awnings that pop out of each of those. Really, really cute. We have a little outbuilding for the front door here, and some cute embellishments, and a fun little fence. And I love this little piece up here at the top, and we're gonna put that together. It's made with 2 layers of cardstock. I'm gonna go ahead and set this house off to the side, and we'll get started on the roof piece. So the roof is got several layers on it, so I wanted to go through that in detail with you, how to put it together. The first thing, let's go ahead and get this little fence detail for the top of the roof put together. You want to make sure you rotate that until those are exactly back to back and that they line up properly. If you'll notice, if you have one of them flipped, they don't quite line up right. So make sure you get it flipped correctly, and you're going to glue that together all the way down to the bottom here. And let's just go ahead and fold those out in either direction here at the bottom. You don't want to glue that area together because those are going to lay on the top of the roof right here in the middle and glue it to the roof. So we just want to glue the fence area back to back so that it makes it a little more sturdy. And I want to go ahead and do that so it can start drying. Oops. I haven't got my fine tip bottle with me at the moment, so I'm using this thicker one, and it likes to deliver a little more glue. So we'll take that piece and this piece. I'm just going to transfer a little glue around from that one spot. And we're just going to stick those back to back, making sure to line each of those up. And then I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put it under something that has a little weight so it can dry for a few minutes. Okay, while that's drying, we'll go ahead and get started on our roof. This piece is going to go over that fence and glue it down here at the bottom when we're done. So we'll do that piece last. But the rest of these are just layers. So you want to take that biggest layer and you're going to line it up with the score line here at the top, and that's going to space it evenly. And then you'll take the next layer, line it up with the score line and the last piece that you just glued down, and then the last piece. So they all just line up right up here at the top by the score lines. So it's pretty easy. If you wanted to get creative and do these out of different colors, that would be darling. You could ink the edges and give it some real detail. If you wanted to do something like that, that'd be super cute. So we'll just go ahead and glue this one down. And then the next layer. Just make sure that you line those up where they're not hanging off either edge. And then we're just going to repeat the same process for this other side. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing for the front and the back of the roof as well. We'll flip that largest piece over. And we're going to line that up with that top score line and those two side score lines. If you didn't want to do all of the layers on the roof, you certainly wouldn't have to, but they really add to the look of this building, so I think that they're worth doing. And they add a lot of sturdiness to the building as well. I'm just going to rotate that around, and we're going to take this largest layer and go ahead and put some glue on that. Okay, now that we have those layers down, we're ready to put the top piece on. So I'm going to grab our little fence that's drying, and like I said, that's just going to go right here in the middle, and I'm going to slide this piece down over the top of it. You can see how that's going to hide those glue tabs. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little adhesive on these two glue tabs to glue this to that covering panel on the back side here. So I don't want it to slide around. Just opening those two flaps open there, and that will make a piece that we can glue right in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive right on the top of the house. And we're going to slip, in fact, I'm going to actually fold it before I put that in there because it's a little tight. We have those 4 glue tabs on the sides as well. So I guess before I'm going to put this on, because I'm going to put it on after it's together, I'm going to go ahead and put glue on those 4 glue tabs. It'll be easier to do without that fence up there. Okay, and that's the roof. And then we can go ahead and place this last little piece right here on top. So there's our roof. Super, super cute. All those fun layers. And we've got this little cutout on the side that's made for the little tower to come up on the side of the house so that it doesn't impede with that. So now that we're done with the roof, we'll get started putting together the rest of the house. Let's get started putting the tower together. To put the tower together, you're going to have this large piece that looks like this, and then all the little triangle pieces with the scalloped edge for the roof. And then you've got a couple of little awning pieces for the windows and 2 window casings. So to put the little awning pieces on, we're just going to fold those tabs over and fold this down, and that is going to tuck inside this piece here. So before you glue it all together, you'll want to make sure that you get these put inside like that. So they're going to glue in there. But I don't want to do that quite yet, but just so you can kind of see how those are going to work. We'll set those to the side for just a minute. Let's go ahead and put our 2 our 2 window casings on. Just put a little glue right around that window. I'm having trouble locating my needle nose fine tip glue bottle right now, so I'm having to get by with the large glue bottle, and I don't like it nearly as well. You can see how much extra glue that gives us and a mess it makes. So I'm going to wipe that all off. Luckily there's a hole there. Let that dry. Then we'll go ahead and put glue on the next one. When you're gluing things, the biggest key is getting a small amount of glue. When you get too much glue, it really causes messy problems. And we'll go ahead and let that dry, and while that's drying, let's go ahead and fold on all the score lines. We're just going to fold them all in one direction. You'll notice there's score lines at the bottom. You're going to fold those in. Just make sure by this window that we get right on that score line. And at the top here, we're just going to fold all of those score lines in. in each of those tabs to the side. And we're just going to take all those bottom square tabs and fold those in. Okay, and then let's go ahead, now that everything's folded, and we're just going to take, so this is kind of the tricky part. We need to glue this flat, and then we also need to get those windows in. So you can decide. I think it's going to be easier to go ahead and glue this flat, and then I'll reach in and glue those windows in. But you can decide how you would like to do it. I like to use the table to press down to get a nice glue on this, seal on this line here. Okay, and then we've got to put the roof together, which means we're just going to glue each of those tabs to its neighbor to form that hexagon. These bottom tabs are just going to glue down to the base of the house. Let me bring the example back in. You can just see how it just glues straight down to this flat piece of cardstock down here on the base. So you don't need to worry too much about those right now until we're ready to glue it down to the base. So right now, let's get up into the roof area and put that together. So I'm going to lay things flat, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on each of those tabs. And we will be covering the roof with all of these black pieces here in just a minute. It's a little bit tricky getting adhesive on all of these without gluing it to the table. Let's see, there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to go around and tuck each one in and just match them right up along the cut line and that score line. And that will create the perfect shape for us. The last one's the trickiest. You got to tuck that one in and glue it down. And I'm going to reach up in there with this bone folder. I'm going to pull these tabs out of my way and glue that, push that seam down. Might have to get creative here. It's a little tricky to get in there. Just find something that you can reach up in there with. There we go. This works pretty good. Okay, now that we have that glued together, we're ready to put our roof on and our little window pieces on. I'm going to go ahead and do the roof because I think those window pieces sticking out are going to get in my way if I get those too soon. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue on this roof. I think glue is going to be easier than tape runner. We're just going to go around on each section and put down the largest triangle, spreading that glue all over the piece so it sticks all the way to the top there. Okay, once you have those all on there, just make sure that they dry really well. And then we'll go ahead and put the next layer on. I'm just going to put the glue on this piece this time. Okay, so now you can see we've got our cute little tower all done. So let's move on. Oh, I forgot we've got to put on those little window cover shaders here. I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the inside of those tabs. I'm going to put those inside the windows carefully, not getting glue everywhere. And right up into the corner there. And open that up, and then I'm just going to use my pinky finger in there to hold that in place while it dries. And then we're going to do the next one. We'll just set that aside while it dries. You can see how it looks. Cool tower there. So let's move on to our house base. Okay, for the house base, we'll just move all these pieces off to the side for a minute. We've got our main house piece, and we've got a little front door piece here. So let's take a look at the house again, so you can see. Here's the main house, and then the front door. We're going to put these two pieces together right now. So we'll be putting on a couple more of those little awning pieces and some more casings on the windows and a little rooftop on the out piece and a door casing. So we've got to decide if we want to have this be stars on the outside or bats. I think we'll go with the stars since it's got the green star in there that will coordinate. And then we've got our main house pieces here. Let's go ahead and get that put together first. So let's just fold everything all in one direction. And then the bottom folds will go up. And the rooftop pieces will fold down. And the glue tabs will fold in. There's a couple little stray pieces there. Okay, that one's all folded in all the right places. Now let's just do the back of the house as well. And then we will glue the two together. Okay, we're just going to connect that here at the side seam with a little adhesive. Just line that up right at the top there. And down at the bottom. Make sure that that side seam is nice and straight. And then we're going to do the same thing over here on this one and connect it to this side. So I'm just going to use the table to help me out. While I'm here, let's go ahead and put on those window casings. I think I'm going to put it directly on the casing. I think that might work a little better. Okay, we'll just let that dry. And while that's drying, let's go ahead and put the roof together here, and then we'll put together the little front door. So to put together the roof, let's go ahead and put some adhesive on these two glue tabs. And this will all be covered by that first roof that we put together. This is just kind of the base for that to sit on and glue to. Okay, so that forms the basic house shape there, and these glue tabs will fold under and glue to the bottom base. So let's take this front door here, and we're just going to fold on all these square marks. Okay. Once you've got all those folded in all the right places, let's go ahead and fold this in half, and we'll put down some adhesive on that glue tab and fold that over, glue that down, and then we just have to assemble this roof here. The bottom is just going to glue to the bottom base, so not too much to worry about there, but just these side pieces here. We'll go ahead and use some liquid adhesive. I'm going to open that bottom up so I can get in there when I need to. Let's fold those in and just line them up right on those fold lines. Okay, and then on the front of the house, the front of the door, we're going to put our little door frame on. Just line that up with the bottom and make sure it covers that opening just right. And I'm going to put my bone folder in there so that I can press against that. Okay, now the front door is ready to go on the house. So here's our house, and you're just going to want to center that in that front space. We've also got a little rooftop for this front piece, but I'm going to wait to put that on until I get it on the house so that I don't have it overlap in the back, pushing it away from the house. To put this on, I'm just going to use a little adhesive, and I want to center it horizontally in that space, and then line the fold line right up at the bottom of the box so that it can all lay flat. So just centering that the best that we can there. And then I'm going to put that bone folder in there and press it flat against the house. So that'll glue down really well. And then our little rooftop looks like this. And it's going to sit right on top of there. So let's just put some adhesive on here. And we'll go ahead and put that rooftop on there. At this point, we're ready to put on the little window awnings. We'll just go ahead and fold those in half and put some glue on those tabs. Those inside, and this opening is nice so you can get right in there with your hand to hold them in place. Okay, now we can just take our rooftop and slide that right on top of this house, and you'll want to have the cutout on the side that you would like to have the little tower sitting. We do have to fold all those bottom pieces up so that it will sit flat. I'm going to put the tower on this side, so I'm going to have that rooftop piece there, and I'm just going to set the tower right next to the house, and we'll push it up nice and tight and glue it on. So before I put the tower on, I'm going to go ahead and put a little adhesive on the inside of this rooftop. And then just press that on nice and tight. Okay, and then this tower. You just need to position these windows so that you can see them. If you rotate it too far around, you won't see them. They'll be on the back, so just make sure. I like them in those two positions there, so you can see it right at the front of the house, and then right up here. So let's go ahead and just put, let's go ahead and use tape runner on this. I'm going to put it straight down the side of the house. Lining up the bottom, and then just firmly pressing that against the house to get it to stick. You could use liquid adhesive here as well if you prefer, but that tape runner looks like it's going to work well. Okay, all right, at this point, let's go ahead and get our base and stick our house down on our base. We're just going to glue it down right in the middle there. So to do that, I'm just going to put a little adhesive on all these bottom glue tabs here. I think I'll tuck this in that way. I'm going to put a little adhesive between those layers there on that front door. We'll just center this in this space the best that we can. Maybe leaving a little more room at the front of the house for embellishing. That looks pretty good to me, so we'll just let that dry right there, giving it a little bit of pressure. And while that's drying, we'll go ahead and take our fence. Let's scoot this off to the side for a minute. We've got our fence piece. We can just fold that, and then I'm going to fold those tabs under. We'll glue them on the bottom of the base so that you won't see them. And we'll do the same thing on this other one. So those will just stand in the corners. And then we can go ahead and put our little jack-o'-lantern together. He just layers the black layer behind the orange piece. I think all these little embellishments absolutely make the project. And you could go to town adding more embellishments or adding embellishments from my paper collection. We've got Happy Halloween this year. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think it's Halloween Magic, actually. It's hard to remember one year to the next, but they're all darling. You could use practically any of the Halloween collections that Echo Park has. I've designed several, but there's quite a few to choose from. Okay, these two little pieces right here, let's go ahead and put those together. They're just a little spacer for the tree. So you can glue it to the back of the house, but we'll go ahead and just, I'm gonna share some of that glue, I think. Got a little too much. So that tab right there. Just fold that up, glue that down. Just gonna fold it flat to help give it some pressure there. But it just basically makes a little piece that looks like this. Oops. And then we'll do the other one. That way these will have a chance to dry really well before we put the tree on. Okay, now we'll take our little fences here, and I'm just gonna put adhesive on the top of those pieces, the top of that tab. And we're gonna tuck it underneath. Just like that. Push it all the way up to the corner, nice and tight. Okay, now we have our tree we're going to add to the back here. And if I were you, I'd probably double layer this because this is a little wobbly for me. But I only have one layer here to show you. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on these little blocks that we just assembled. And we will stick those to the tree. Let's see, about here and here. Let that dry. While that's drying, we can just go ahead and add a few embellishments to our house. You could use pop dots, or you can just use some glue. Looking to see if I have any pop dots handy here, but I'm just going to go ahead and use glue. I've got the little ghost. We'll just go ahead and put him here by the front door. Just kind of make him look like he's coming out of the door, just like that. Look how cute he is. I love him. And then we've got a cute black cat. Wishing I had a pop dot to add him on, but I apologize. I don't have any right here by my assembly table. That's okay. Let's go ahead and put some glue on him and just tuck him right here. And we've got a pumpkin. Let's put it up here by the front door. And we got some bats. Okay, perfect. Looking so, so cute. Okay, the last part is just to add that tree on. So I'm just gonna flip this over so you can see what I'm doing back here. just going to take the tree with its spacers and we're just going to flip it over and glue it to the house. But you can see why we needed that. The roof line juts out from the house and it gives you a way to hook that tree on without have it bind up on the roof there. So let's go ahead and put a little glue here and here. And just line that up. And you don't see half of the tree, but this part that sticks out looks so cute. We'll just let that dry. And we'll flip it over so you can see it. Oh dear, it just came loose. I need to let it dry a little longer. Maybe I can let it dry while it lays this way. Okay, there is our completed haunted house. Hopefully you can see everything really well. So we've just got these roofs to get put together, this tower, this little front piece for the front window. Here's a couple of different examples, one done with green with the stars on the little front door. Here's another one in a different green with a little polka dot pattern on that front. So I hope you enjoy making this cute haunted house. Look for the rest of the haunted houses in the series in my SVG shop and in the Silhouette Design Store. I hope you have fun making this, and please leave comments in the comment section below if you have any questions or if you'd like help with anything. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.